Hey guys, it is day 22 of NaNoWriMo, which means we are down to the wire. Basically the last week. We are about to move into the last week of NaNoWriMo. And I did have the intention yesterday on day 21 of having a full reset rest day, but I kind of did it wrong. I did not feel super rested at the end of the day. I did some of my tried and true rest and reset exercises, but today has been more like what I really wanted to do with the rest and reset. So I'm going to show you some of what I did yesterday, but I'm also going to mostly focus on what I'm doing today and what I have been doing today to rest and reset. I feel like it's a constant process to learn best how to sort of reset your energy as well as resetting your tasks that you need to do. So I hope that you're ready for this, because sometimes when you feel, I guess one way to explain it that I have a sense of it is, if this is your baseline of what you need to be happy and taking care of yourself, you have days that are above that line, and then all of us have days that are below that line. But when you find that you're reaching stress levels or you're getting so far behind on stuff that you're starting to say negative things about yourself, or you're starting to feel overwhelmed and behind literally every day, and you start to notice that you're having more days below the line than you are days above the line, like I have been feeling recently, you know that it's time for a rest and reset. And sometimes if you're so far below the line that you have to pull yourself way up, sometimes it's going to be weeks of rest and reset, or a year of rest and reset if you're too far below the line. I have been through that in my life, but I try to stay enough on top of it at this point because I have experienced some of those very low times for a very long extended period of time in my life, in my past, that now I start to recognize when I'm going below the line too often, and when I'm starting to not see the joy in things that would otherwise be very exciting or joyful, like my trip to New Orleans. I did have a good time, but I was so stressed at the time, and I'm sure some of you could feel that and see that in the video, that I was starting to have like the inability to really appreciate the joy and blessings that were being given to me, because I was also focused on some of the negative things. So I needed, I guess, a couple of days of reset at least, and maybe I will need another one tomorrow. But here are some of the ways that I personally have found that help me to pull myself back over the line and have better energy. But let's talk a little bit about what I did yesterday and what I'm doing today, and let's get reset. Good morning. It is day 21 of NaNoWriMo. Everybody in our household is still asleep. It is 8:12 and I am running sprints for the Word Sprint group, and everybody else is sleeping. Andrew is recovering. We're going to let him sleep as long as he needs to today. What I'm going to do while we're sitting here, I do want to get some writing in during these sprints, but I also have these cloth and paper sheets that are like half just blank and half graph paper. And I like to use those sometimes for to-do lists, because I can put what I want to do and then any little tasks. So it's kind of like taking a project and breaking it down into tasks, but on a micro level. And I'm going to work on that for just a minute as kind of a little bit of a brain dump, because this is one of the first things I do when I decide that I'm going to do a reset day is I brain dump. Here's all the things that are time sensitive or that are in my head that are making me feel like I'm overwhelmed and behind. And of course, usually my HB90 system takes care of that. I've got the sticky notes, I've got the things, but there are just some times when I fall so far behind on the plan that I have to kind of reset. And especially right now when we're traveling and everything's kind of up in the air, I just need that mental space of saying, okay, here's the priorities. Here's what I can knock off. Here's the things I can do very quickly. And then here's the things that I just need to figure out when I'm getting them done or if I need to push them back. And so it gives me that thinking space. And this is why I love planning and stationery and pens, because I can pull out my pretty colorful markers and things like that, and I can make it a whole process. And that helps me to feel like I'm in control. And it gives me that space in my brain to sit and focus. It's a focus tool. That's really the best way I have to explain it. So I'm going to do that for this first like 10-minute sprint. And then during my sprints, I do what I call stair steps. So you may want to try this in your own writing. 10 minutes on, 5-minute break, 15-minute writing, 5-minute break, 20-minute writing, 5-minute break, 25 minutes. And I just kind of go up until the 25 minutes, and then I do 25-minute sprints, and then I'm done for 2 hours. And a lot of times that easing into it and building up can really help me, because by the time I build up to those 25-minute sprints, I'm in the zone usually. But I'm going to spend this 10-minute sprint and the next 15-minute sprint working on this list, and then I'll get some writing in. Okay, quick update. It is about 1:30. Evie is down for a nap. We have eaten lunch, and I've been working on my Sunday gist list, my power list. And part of that list is completed. I made an HB90 post to my alumni. It's something I do every week to kind of encourage and hold everybody accountable. I also got 1,200 words written, which is a start for that. I got a few things marked off the list. I don't have it here in front of me. One of the big ones is that we just signed a lease for a 3-month apartment. I'm very excited about this. It is not a permanent situation, but as much as I have enjoyed the traveling, I think the whole family is ready to at least be settled somewhere. Plus, I have Publish and Thrive coming up towards the beginning of the year, and I want to make sure that we're settled somewhere that I can 100% like give all my attention to getting prepared for that course, making sure the videos are updated. So there will be more on that later. But we may stay there longer than 3 months, but we signed a minimum 3-month lease, and I'm pretty excited about it. I won't have my own office space again, which is less than ideal, but still, I'm so grateful that we have a place that we're going to be settling down, especially because I will be close to a lot of my friends. So I'll tell you guys like where that's going to be and what our plans are a little bit later. But that was a huge list item. I had to do a lot of research. It took up most of the morning after my live stream. Andrew is feeling better, so I'm super grateful for that. I've been doing his drops. Now we've done them twice today. And something else that was on my list was to make granola. This Airbnb does not have a baking sheet, and I need it for granola. We need it for our roasted vegetables and several of our meals. So I'm going to go get that. The one day I don't wear my beautiful new raincoat, it starts pouring rain when I'm in the Target. But you know what? I love the rain. I don't necessarily love being wet in the rain all the time, but there's something about the rain that always makes me feel like a child again. It was kind of fun to run to my car. I also bought my baking sheet and used it as a temporary umbrella. It is leaking in my car. Of course, I do actually have an umbrella in my car. The problem was that it was in the car. So that was pretty funny. But I, of course, went in to get that one thing and some Zyrtec for George, and ended up buying some super cute stuff for Evie. Today she was like, I want a princess dress. So I went and looked, and they had this super cute Minnie Mouse dress. So I got that, and then I got Andrew. Andrew loves these, like the PJs that are just like all onesies with the hoodie and stuff like that. And he used to have a Pikachu one that he wore like every day of his life. So I got him one that is Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know if you can really see it, but anyway. Every time I buy something, I have to get rid of something that we had. So I'm gonna have to go through the clothes again and take out something. I'm just gonna go home back to the condo and finish up my peanut butter granola and keep working on the list. I have checked off quite a few things. There's no way I'm going to get to everything on my Sunday list. I don't know what I was thinking. I just was like, these are all the things I want to get done to reset, and I'm not going to get to all of it. Okay, so that was about an hour actually of sitting out in the sun, stretching, meditating, journaling, just listening to music, all of that stuff. And I feel amazing after doing that. Andrew is almost done with his homeschool. He's taking a little bit of a screen break. George is napping. Evie is napping. So I still have some time to myself, but it is 3:30. So I know that it's wearing thin. I have sat down. So I sat down this morning and I did all my planning. So I just showed you that. So I have my Kanban set for the week, although it may take me 2 weeks to get that stuff done. I also have my plan set up for the week, and I have my reset list. So this is the list I made yesterday with all of the kind of overwhelming things. And this is just something that I like to do when I'm resetting is, even though I have my HB90 plan that I know I'm doing for the quarter, when I know I'm so far behind that I'm not going to achieve everything that I set out to do, sometimes it just helps me to write it down again, even though it's a repeat of some of the things that are in my plan, of the things that feel the most urgent or the things that feel the most important to me, when they're due, how I'm going to get them done. And I basically then make a plan for what I'm going to delay, what I'm going to delegate, and then what I'm going to just sit down and get it done. So I have that list here, and then I have incorporated that list into my Kanban board and my tasks for the week. So that's kind of what I've done there. I also have a Sunday gist list. And like I said, I don't know why I was thinking I could get all that done yesterday, because it was kind of way too much, but I have gotten quite a few things checked off the list here, as you can see. So it's a little more than halfway done, I think, or close to halfway done. So I'm going to sit down and knock like one or two more things off that list, because another thing that makes me feel good on a rest and reset day is just taking action on some things that are more low energy, or what people call the low hanging fruit. And I've done a lot of the low hanging fruit on this, but there's Plan the City Pass. So I think I'm going to sit down right now and kind of plan out when we're going to go to the aquarium, when we're going to go to the children's museum, and that should be kind of a fun thing to do. I am also going to sit down and work on sketching out my new HB90 pages. My hope is to get my HB90 planner done over the next week for 2022. So I'm going to go ahead and just sketch out some of the changes that are happening to the pages, and that shouldn't take too long. So that's a couple of low-hanging fruit kind of things that I can get done right now, while I am simultaneously throwing on some binge-worthy YouTube and drinking my ice water in a nice glass. So all of these things are things that make me feel energized. So I hope that it inspires you to, if you've been feeling a little bit depleted or behind or overwhelmed, to just take some time to get stuff done, build positive momentum, but also have a little bit of self-care and do some things that make you feel good. I promise it will make you feel more motivated to get some work done. Another thing that I'm going to do while we're sitting here, depending on the timing of when Evie gets up, is I have my iPad here and my Apple Pencil. And what I like to do on my iPad is create like vision boards or focus boards for myself. I'm not going to create my official 2022 vision board just yet, but I think I'm going to do something that I've been wanting to do for a while, which is take my Pinterest boards that I have so many Pinterest boards based on wanting to have another baby. And obviously those are multiple years old, but it took us so many years to get pregnant with both of our children that I used that as a daydreaming tool for someday we're going to have another baby. But obviously she's getting to be older. She's over 2 years old now, and it's time to delete some of those baby Pinterest boards. And I also have a lot of Pinterest boards that are based on old dreams, like having a house on the marsh or living in South Carolina. And I think we've let go of that dream and that style of house. So I'm just going to clear out all of the clutter of the old dreams, the old me, the things that I'm releasing and letting go. And then I'm going to just sort of have a clean slate for new daydreaming for when I start thinking about 2022. So I think that's going to feel really good. And of course, NaNoWriMo Diaries, it is NaNoWriMo. I'm also hoping to get some writing done, but I'm going to save that for this evening. I'm hoping to get at least 1,800 words today so I can hit that 3,000 that I put on my gist list. But for now, it's kind of playtime mixed with a little bit of work time. Okay, guys, so that does it for my rest and reset days. I definitely have learned that things are a little different here in Airbnbs than when I have my own space. But I was basically able to spend some really good time with the family, with the cameras off, with my phone out of my hand, and just be with them. I also did quite a bit of purging of my Pinterest boards. I think I got them down to like a third of what they were before. So I'm excited to repopulate those with my new dreams. I got about 1,300 words written, so I didn't quite hit my 3,000 for the 2-day total, but I did get 2,500 or so, and that feels pretty good. So I'm at just over 16,000 words, but today's par was 36,000 plus, so I'm right at about 20,000 words behind. And truthfully, looking at that number, there is a chance that I could still catch up if I had some really good days. So I'm considering doing one hotel night here in Houston and seeing if I can get ahead enough or get enough good days that one big hotel night might push me over the 50K. But then there's a part of me that's like, I don't know if I can do it, but I think it would be kind of fun. So we'll see. So I think I have about 3,000 words left at max in my short story, and then I'll save the edits for January. But I will decide at that point if I want to go back to working on my demons book or if I want to write another short story before I go back to do that. So we'll kind of see and play it by ear. But I have to say that after just having a day of rest, a couple of days of rest, extra sleep, water, good healthy food, more time with my family, and doing some of those activities that just really make me feel nurtured and feel good have been really helpful. Now I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to watch the second episode of Wheel Time. I did watch the first episode last night and it has taken me all day to kind of be okay with it. I think that when you see one of your favorite book series of all time put on the screen, you really want them to stay true to the source material. And I do recognize that they have to change some things to make it right for people who are not readers and to make up for the fact that so much of what you read in a book is happening inside the character's head, and you can't really show that in the same way in a film. And I completely do understand that. But they made so many changes in that first episode. It's like just things that I was not expecting for them to change. They added characters. I won't go into all of it, but I was super disappointed. But I did end up talking to Cindy from Llama Letters, who's also a fan of the book series. And she's like, dude, just keep watching because it does get better. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it my best, try to open my mind and see it for what it is. It's a TV show. It is not the books, played out on the screen. It's its own thing, and I'm going to try to enjoy it. If you have been watching it, let me know what you think, especially if you're a fan of the books, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go try to enjoy that while I have a little bit of wine and some popcorn, which is my favorite kind of de-stress stuff at night. And then I will be back tomorrow for day 23 and hopefully feeling 100% rested and ready to go. So I will see you guys then. Bye.